What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 20 of my Total War Warhammer 3 Elspeth von Draken Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, our newly constructed slowdown army got the chance to play at last, and did so with gusto and most effectively, though I suppose the enemies against them did not move with gusto, many of the units being slowed down below 10 speed, which worked out pretty interestingly. It's a pretty cool army that I didn't really, envision when the campaign started, but when I saw how many of the various types of abilities we had, and the fact that they stack, it's pretty neat. I'm happy with it, and I'm excited to get it, I guess, fighting Grimgor and whatever else we can find up here, possibly even up north towards Tamarkan. The slowdown on the poor Nurglites is going to be real nasty, and we probably do want to move up here to make sure that they don't take Boris's territory. But anyway, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Yeah, we're going to have to destroy the remnants of the Astrogoth Ironhand faction, the Disciples of Hashut, and I guess then we'll see. Anyway, I'm just excited at the prospect of using the army some more. In terms of what we got to do this time around, well, we're heading towards the Blessed Dreads territory with Elspeth. They're rank 6 in terms of world strength, so they probably have at least half a dozen armies running around. In fact, we can see 4 full stacks, and there's probably more since we don't see Loki Fellheart. Otherwise, there's a lot of stuff to do in general, so I guess let's start doing. Elspeth, you're starting today. What do we have here? No, honestly, okay, this one's not really worth fighting, let's face it. It's just a pile of dread spears and nothing of significance. We'll auto-resolve this, but we've got plenty more to do. And, ooh, 878, not bad. We could heal up just in case. We are in friendly territory. Wait, we can even encamp, can't we? I'll take the money. And yeah, we can encamp, we're fine. Alrighty, because we have to go to Shangwu anyway, Oh, I wasn't expecting the season campaigner. Nice. It's actually weird how late Elspeth got it, but I guess she was too close to the Empire for the vast majority of what she's been doing. But now, finally, we're far enough away. Extra campaign movement range, always lovely, and the perfect vigor for Elspeth herself, of course. Servant we don't really care about, and onward and upward. Land Admiral Zintler. Ah, yes. Alright, so we got 3 armies here. Probably too many. We want 1, 2, 3 maybe? Alright, wait. Admiral Zintler, I feel bad, but I think maybe we should send you this way then. I was gonna give you Bellacor's defeat trade, but now that Valkia is here, out of these 3 armies, you're the only one who regularly enters melee, and while I don't remember Valkia's defeat trait, I'm pretty sure it has something to do with melee damage, and that would be relatively useless on the other armies, so fine. We're gonna move you here, and right to the edge of this. Yes, we're suffering attrition right now, but are we really? And we'll find out in a sec. You're gonna go here, and then Deconstructor Zintler, I guess you can... Oh, you know what we could do with you? I was gonna send you around to Negrar, but this is their last territory, isn't it? Yeah, it's their last territory. Go kill the Decadent Host, make sure they're gone. Alrighty, so... It's all attrition. Alright, stay roughly here. I suppose if they get too big of a stack, you can land at Kar instead, and ooh, we have to level you up as well. We'll do that just in case there's a Cornate army to sail out and attack you. So, Cartography Innovations, Stockpiles, and Ballistics Calibration. Repair and Maintain, Upkeep, wait. Basically only for the Templehof Luminarch, it doesn't apply to... Oh, actually it does apply to Mortars, Sutsun's guns. Yeah, alright, fine. Repair and Maintain, and then Ballistics Instructor. We are using a lot of range in this army. And I guess we got 2 points remaining. We'll go for Pistol Core for the additional damage on the River Patrol. Was it just them? Yeah, alright. That's fine. That works for me. Stockpiles is for restock, and then Ballistics Calibration is always lovely to get that reload on the, let's say, half of the army, roughly. Anyway, you sit here, and I guess move out forward, and we'll keep leveling your allies, because if you get attacked here, then you should make sure that you can survive. Wild-eyed for you, I guess. Although the leadership aura ain't too bad on the warrior priests combined with the leadership effect. It's not like we're really expecting them to do damage, but impassioned is necessary because they are vulnerable to stuff. So let's do that. Fire wizard. Generally speaking, I'd say a little bit of everything because, you know what? 2 points in Flaming Sword of Ruin. It's really useful for this army, A. B, any units that don't have flaming attacks would get it, but C, we have basically no magical damage in this army, and this allows the imbuement in a big circle, so definitely want that. And then Flamestorm. Piercing Bolts of Burning, a fantastic spell, but generally speaking not going to be the most useful for this army, as it's not really looking to engage in melee all that much, let's face it. I think another potential problem with this army, other than the fact that we still need the engineer in here to buff up the range units, is that it doesn't really have anything in the way of armor-piercing damage. Crossbows, basically no armor-piercing whatsoever. Iron Drakes, no armor-piercing. Knights of the Blazing Sun, little armor-piercing. 14 compared to 30 regular damage. Sootsun's Guns, no armor-piercing. And Flame Cannons, no armor-piercing. Yeah. I mean, it hasn't really been a problem so far, but it may against more elite armies. It's just that we haven't really faced off against any with this particular army. I mean, I guess we knocked down Bellicor and his army, but that was mostly due to range superiority. I think maybe what we might want to do is adjust something here. We could put cannons, we could put amethyst iron sights, I'll think about it. The thing is, because we now have this Banner of Eternal Flame, and the affects allies and imbues flaming attacks, basically we can get a couple of units that aren't normally flaming attacky, kind of like the Master Engineer on his tank, and give them fire attacks by virtue of the fire damage from the imbuement. We also thus don't need the Firebomb Grenade Launcher, and besides, the Ballistics Instructor with the range and the Ballistics Calibration, in my opinion, is still too useful not to have, especially on the relatively low-range Iron Drakes and Flame Cannons. Anyway, I like theory crafting armies, which is why I keep getting bogged down in tangents and the like. Anyway, ooh, wait, I just had another idea. Okay, Helmet, you are still moving down to Corn, so keep going this way. Wait, travel through friendly territory for now, through Karazakarak, so go like this. Are you crossing a river? Why are you leaving the road? Huh, I guess it's easier to... Okay, sure, whatever. Let him do what he wants. What I just thought of, assuming that we don't have to move anybody else, which we don't, we can go to Diplomacy.
Ready?
Court of Libaros, no dice. Okay, never mind. Oh, actually, I just had another idea, but, Disciples of Hashut wants peace. That's obviously not going to happen. We need money. The idea involves money. Alright, Khemri. Let's do military access with you, just temporarily. If they get into a fight with the Karazakarak or with the Chevalier de Lyonesse, we'll probably attack them. We're obviously not going to turn on Karazakarak for Khemri, but for now, we could just try to pass through their territory. I'd like the same from the Court of Libaros. Anyway, what I wanted was about 7,000 gold. The reason for this is as soon as we can find 7,000 gold... Okay, where are we here? Bordelot, cancel the Morceau Valley. Yeah, there we go, that'll do it. Right. Yeah, we can start upgrading it next turn, especially once we have cancel the Burgomeisters to reduce the time. What we can do here is cancel Teachings of Teclis in favor of Ambassadors to the Tsarina, which gives us immunity to snow attrition for all armies, since Land Admiral Zintler is right here. Then, what we'll do is transfer Shagrath and the Frozen City to Boris. 1 money? Okay, he's not giving us money for it. And Frozen City to Boris, giving him these territories. Valkia is not at war with him, meaning she can pass through this and try to attack Land Admiral Zintler, and because we research this at the end of the turn, we should have immunity to attrition and thus suffer no attrition at the end of it. Since Valkia is probably going to attack us here, let us also upgrade whatever we need to upgrade here. And what are you missing again? Pistol Core, Mighty Forge, Imperial Gunnery. You have most of the good stuff, don't you? Spell resistance probably quite irrelevant to you. We could start moving into Quartermaster. The thing is, his army is very expensive, and while... Oh, right, extra powder. Okay, fine, we'll get extra powder first, but then maybe ignore this, although the gun sight with the armor-piercing missile damage will increase his tank power as well, which ain't too bad. I'll think about it. I think Quartermaster is a really good investment in an expensive army, though. Especially for a lord that actually can go through that entire line. Anyway, Engineer, you can get Deadly Onslaught. It's not super useful, but just get it anyway. And you have Deadly Onslaught. So I guess you're going to go through Always Ready to power up your range damage slightly. I don't imagine these guys do too much, but whatever. Dwellers Below, Shield of Thorns, and Flesh to Stone. I think perhaps for... emergencies will want Flesh to Stone. Generally speaking, both Shield of Thorns and Flesh to Stone aren't going to be crazy useful in this particular army, because if we're engaged in melee, generally we're mobile and running through the enemy ranks, and thus not holding still long enough to warrant the melee damage reflection or physical damage reduction. Although I suppose against an army with a lot of range damage of their own, this could be a potential boon. The physical damage from Flesh to Stone reduction, I mean. Anyway, I believe we're good to go, yes? I think we are. Alright. What does she have? A bunch of Chaos Warriors, a Corn, Bloodletters. Nothing crazy in there. Alright, enter. Nothing crazy, but worth fighting, I think, at least certainly for the defeat trade. Also, I really wonder where Be'lakor went. I really hope we don't have to swap around the units again, because Be'lakor bloody ran away, and now we don't know where he is, and he has a really great defeat trade. And we have to make sure we get it on the right lord. Belagar, what you want? You have ended our non... You sure you want to do that, buddy? Are you sure? Is this a good idea? Is it? Okay. Is that the only agreement we have with him? Okay, we're gonna have to find out. I have a sinking feeling we may have to kill Belagar. By which I mean teleport Elspeth towards his territory and then destroy him. Wafail's Redhorn tribe destroyed. Good. There's that immunity to snow attrition and a brutal business. Ooh, damn. This is actually really good for the enemy and not good for us, because the increase to base weapon damage, I believe, is melee only, meaning it powers up all their melee units and not our range units. Nemesis Crown claimed by the Great Orthodoxy, great for them. We no longer have any kind of agreement with you, meaning... yeah, he's probably gonna attack us. Fortunately, all the border princes are nicely walled up, so... Oh, I also just realized Valkia didn't attack us, really. Where are you, Valkia? I see a couple of Dark Elven armies here. Didn't quite work out like I thought it would. Let's get you all the way to the edge of this territory. Ooh, we have to suffer attrition because of the Chaos Corruption, eh? Suppose we could move in camp stance, which would save us the effort. Alright, fine, moving in camp stance. The heck, where did Valkia go? Huh. Weird. Maybe she's trying to ambush us or something? Okay. Oh! Hello. Hello, Be'lakor. Alright, well, at least we know where Be'lakor is, so there's that. You, sir, cannot get to Shard Bastion, therefore you're going to encamp forward and hit Shard Bastion next turn. Deconstructor Zindler, I said Karan Kar and Karan Kar it shall be. Valkia's just disappeared. She's ambushing, she's definitely ambushing. Go here. And what do we have here? Well, whatever we have, it's not worth fighting. Let's get the Banner of Eternal Flame on Deconstructor Zindler. Auto-resolve it. And, ooh, that did a little bit more damage than I was expecting, but we'll occupy the place. And Decadent Host destroyed. Nice. Free Hedge Wizard, we'll take it. Certainly need more mana for the fire spells out of this army. And... Hello. Okay, that's a problem. We don't want to lose Conquata. Albrecht Hupt Anderson, you're gonna get on the field and... Oh, I know what we can do with you. Let's get to you. The Karabar Greatswords, because we're moving Karl up this way anyway. And if these guys are gonna land, let's get some temporary units out of Global. Like... 3 and 3. War wagons, great for the defense, some mortars and some non-mortars to replenish the mortars as we move deeper into the citadel. Carl, I guess you're going up this way then. I mean, you were already, but you're continuing to do so.
Only Khan commands me.
Isle of Wights and Citadel of Lead, yeah, okay, those two have no chance of being able to defend themselves, which is a bit of a shame, but there's not much we can do about it. What do we have here? Remnants of Battle? Can you go here? Ooh, I'd love for you to fight Sloppy Crookshank, actually, Andreas. Maybe gather a few islands while you're on the way. And... Sunken Chest. Wax sealed rations. I was hoping for the movement range increase one. This will be a fun fight if these two fought. Yeah, alright, let's just in case level up because Sloppy Crookshank has some decent stuff in his army. You're actually saving your points until the buff range tree, so you needn't do anything else. Also, you have basically no items other than the Talisman of Endurance, but that's because you're not on your tank yet, and until you are, you're not taking damage for everybody or anybody, and thus, well, you don't really need to do anything else. Look here, I see you, but we can't hit ya. The question is, what's the best way to reach you? We can either go down to Shangwu, or go to Baleful Hills. Neither... Oh, Shangwu is the capital, meaning there's more likely to be a bigger contingent of rats there. Alright, fine, we'll head there. You're gonna get Mentor and max yourself out by getting Fervent, Irrepressible for the casualty or punishment for you personally, and additional character experience gain, which I'm hoping combines further with Mentor. And then the last point can be spent on... When do we spend the last point? Oh, that was the last point. Okay, well that's fine, because we have all your magics, we have your unique line, we have every buff for every type of unit you're currently using. I guess we're good. Alright.
I must study this.
Elspeth, do we need to level your NGs? Well, this guy's at level 40, so why not? Mentor for you, and I guess always ready and hard to hit. And I guess we're just getting everything now. Okay, fine. Mark of Kish and Bandolier. Maybe fleet-footed was the way to go, but it's too late now. You are one short of Mentor, Bandolier, Indomitable, Specialist, just in case. Just in case we have to, I don't know, block an army or something. Last point will go into Mentor, and then we have an extra point to spend. I'm just double-checking that I didn't miss anything. But it doesn't look like I did, so boost income, I guess, I don't know. It really doesn't matter. Shangwu. Let's see what we got here. And let's see if Loki will attack us right after. Okay, we got tiny amount of troops and... Huh, these guys are allied with the Chaos faction, presumably villages, because he's fighting all the, Cathians. Works for me, auto-resolve. Yeah, basically no damage, we're fine. Occupy. That's a decent amount of schematics, yeah, occupy. Alright, Clan Chris score, Camp Follower, Scroll of Lycos, great. And then, before I forget, new Amethyst Land ship, the Coming Morn. Fantastic name, I've been saving that one since, like, one of the first episodes, specifically for an Amethyst land ship, specifically in Elspeth's army, so, very nice. Alright, look here, hopefully. Next up, what do we got? Alright, I'm hoping to find a battle here. Kind of disappointed that Valkia didn't attack us, but what can you do? Uskalak. Oh, wow. That's a lot of sack value here. And you are not worth an actual fight. Sorry, Disciples of Hashut. We're gonna sack the place. Too much value in it. And can we still occupy it? Indeed we can, and then we can trade it. I guess to Boris. Although he can't really give us money. Maybe we actually trade it to... Maybe we trade it to our dwarven friends instead. Also build something cheap here, like... Okay, that's not cheap. What's the cheapest thing? 1,000? 1,000? It's all 1,000, isn't it? This one's 685. Yeah, but it takes 4 turns. Alright, fine. Build... the Weaving House. I'm just thinking of making this place worth more money for when we trade it to the to our dwarven friends. Just in case, what does iron do for us at tier 3? Upkeep production for swordsmen, greatswords, and knight units. That's not bad, but is it worth territory all the way out here, which we're not liable or not looking to defend? I'm not sure that it is. Anyway, Helmut Feuerbach, you continue traveling down to see Scarby. You guys have had a date scheduled for quite a while. Gates of Jar. And hello, Grimgor. Ah, Grimgor, you're gonna provide us a lot of fun for our armies, but for now, we're not at war with you, so we'll try to do as much damage to Goldtooth first as possible. Can't reach these places, so we'll encamp, heal as much as we can here, and increase the healing by trading the Gates of Jar to you. For a little bit of cash. Lovely. Alright, does that enable us to heal fully? Yeah, more or less. Alright, very, very nice. And we'll level these guys up before attacking, because, you know, enough admin for now. Boris von Sighofen, you... Oh, that was you, whoops. Jamathias the Scarred, you're up next. You are headed to join the Fire Army out here, because they're lacking an engineer. And as soon as he stops moving, we'll pick a tech and do the buildings, and then end the turn. Also no longer... No, I think we did diplomacy last turn, so we still have to do it. Don't need the ambassador to the Royarch of Bretonia, as it is useless to us. It's complete teachings of Teclis. And nothing else is one turn, is it? I mean, these things are, but we don't really need them. Although, you know, we are fighting Chaos a lot right now. In fact, it's basically the only thing that we're fighting. No, well... Greenskins will eventually happen, and ogres are happening, sort of. Fighting elves. I'm just... You know what? Let's purge some ruinous breeds. Though those are my favorite kind of breeds. Anyway, we're good to go. Double check Diplo, once again. Really want that... Reportedly bar us. No? Okay, well, we're gonna trespass through their territory regardless. You can't stop us. Current car does not want peace. We'll see about that. Let's do buildings. And let's go next turn. Fortburg Bray. Definitely a waste of our time to do anything with you. Yeah, just collect the income at current car. We'll trade it away shortly. Shangwu, you're kind of in the same situation. We'll be trading you. River Brienne. Most definitely get the farm and the upgrade for the Morceau Valley Vineyards. Forest of Gloom. I guess despite the... Yeah, let's go for the gunsmith. More stuff. Does this do anything for us? Not really. I guess we want more wizard capacity, though honestly our wizard capacity is pretty fine right now, and frankly, there's quite a bit of an investment for not gaining a lot out of it. Also, these are quite expensive as well. Fine, go for the Wizard's Conclave, whatever. And then you're gonna do the same thing, Gunsmith and Wizard's Conclave. Kind of surprising that every single one of these magical forests doesn't have the wood trade good. But oh well. Middle Mountains, you're good. Pirates Current. Ooh, hello, what do we have here? We need to get the Smithy's Tavern, control plus 10, and additional income generated, plus hero recruit rank for all provinces. Nice. And what else are we missing? We could do the paved roads for more money. We don't have a gunsmith. And frankly, the place will never generate a crazy amount of money, so I think another gunsmith is the way to go. Trying to get all those 2 turns into 1 turns in our research tree. Anything else? There's a clothier at Dietershafen. Estalia, yes. Yes to you, and I guess we're gonna go clothier without defenses, right at the most dangerous location. Or the most likely to get hit by something from somewhere down there. Also, just to double check, I wanted to see if there was still vampiric corruption in the Maelstrom, just to determine whether they were still alive or not, but we can't see from here, so... We can't see from here? Anyway, we'll send an army out there and to deal with them. I kind of wanted to send Carl, but now he has to kind of travel up here, and oh, Malekith's around too. That might be a nice contest. Ooh, he's level 37 too, damn. Alright. Alright, now that looks like another end turn to me. Hero not moved, which here? It's not Jamathias, is it? No.
War drives progress.
Where could we get attacked? Well, if Valkia's ambushing us, she could be I mean, where else could she have gone? I guess we'll find out. Alrighty, northern provinces, western provinces, elves doing your elfish things in Nagarond. Cult of Pleasure, probably one of the other biggest factions on the map. Frankly, all the Dark Elves are the biggest factions on the map, aren't they? Go figure. Oh, I just saw territory change hands. Was that Khemri and... and Chevalier de Lyonesse, are they at war? Aha, ambusher discovered, Valkia. Nice try, but you're gonna head into Dargoth, which has no defenses, meaning we get to fight you. Ambusher discovered, Rite of Sotek performed, Great Incantation of Xar, ambusher discovered, don't care. Ready for duty, technology researched, just in time. And Battle Masters, defeat the following lord, Talzin. Yeah, he's coming. What do we have in terms of defenses here? Nothing crazy. Hopefully we'll be able to hold, and damn, more armies. Alright, Carl, you need to get up there immediately. Let's grab this real quick, and then march stance, or full speed stance, whatever it is, all the way up there. Explore the island out of resolve real quick. Damage to the Rose's Thorns. Why did the Rose's Thorns take so much more damage than the unnamed Karoberg Greatswords? Why auto-resolve? I would like an explanation. And I guess all the regular ones as well, but anyway. We get schematics here? 236? Yeah, sure, we'll take it. Schematics are schematics. Time recovery, potion of speed, materials at sea again. Oh, fantastic. Oh, I wish I hadn't spent the 40,000 gold last turn, but oh well. Go here in march stance. We'll see if these guys are willing to fight us by virtue of us being in the stance here. And just to double check, you got 1 level. What about you? 4. All right, we can spend some levels on you. Let's get you impassioned and into, yeah, I guess soothsaying. Why not? You, sir, can get guardian. Not that Carl really needs it. But you can protect the warrior priest. And the wizard to some degree, although he should be flying up above. Earthblood for you, sir. Evasion and double up on regrowth. Nah, single regrowth and then dwellers below. Carl, don't really need to level yet, but just in case. What, if anything, are we missing that's important? Blade shield, deadly blade, blade master. We will want Mighty Forge, and a single level of it, considering we have 4 steam tanks, is pretty good, considering the 7 ward save that they get from it. So I think we'll do that. Or Mighty Forge. I wonder if we'll have enough points to get you Quartermaster or Lightning Strike. I guess we'll find out. Eventually, possibly, maybe. You, sir, have 2 points to spend as well, and I guess we're going to pop them into... Oh, damn, Pistol Corps and Imperial Gunnery. I forget that the War Wagons are separate, which is a bit of a shame. But out of the 2, I'm gonna say go for the War Wagons with guns rather than mortars. Frankly, against Chaos units, they'd probably be more useful. I'm tempted to get a few additional units here. Probably not any of these. Ooh. We get 2 more Emperor's Wraths should we want them. Oh, Swords of Ulrich available. I mean, we could... You know what, let's... no, unless they're 2 out of 2, there's no real point to building them. Handgunners are garbage on top of walls, but they don't necessarily have to be on top of walls. What do we have in terms of regiments of renown here? Oh! We could temporarily get the archers and the huntsmen like this. Alright, that's good enough. And if they attack, we'll try to deal with what we've got. Alright, that looks good enough to me. Anyway, Elspeth, back to you. Wait, no, not back to you. I lied. We've got that Valkia fight. I got distracted by everything once again. As per usual. Hit Dargoth. And I guess we have to not take so much damage that we then get attacked by multiple armies. Valkia. Huh, she's got her own banner of eternal flame. That's cute. The rest of her army shouldn't be too much of an issue. Valkia herself, though, perhaps might be. I'm gonna have to be careful. And she's a relatively small target. I wonder how that'll translate into this. I guess we'll find out. Go.
If I can craft the finest of machines, I can command you, brother. Fear not, you are safe in my hands.
Alright, they certainly seem to give that, that if I can craft the finest of machines, etc, etc, etc speech quite a lot. Anyway, here we go. Something I noticed before the battle started, which impressed me a lot, was this. Where are the enemy? Here they are. The enemy Skull Crushers of Khorne. You can see that they have magic damage. Why do they have magic damage? Because the AI gave the Lichbone Pennant to them, which A, I would love to steal, but B, see. Great job to the AI for actually doing that and providing them with the magical damage. It's a very good use of that item. I'll do the same thing myself. Anyway, they're gonna charge forward. We'll see how effective that is for them as we have the war wagons sniping on the rightmost flank, while our sort of line of tanks and land ships and gunships or thunder barges does their thing as well. Anyway, chariots giving chase to war wagons. That does not seem like a good idea, and those chariots are going to get absolutely ripped apart, even if they do get any closer. We're not moving as yet, but we are going to allow the enemy to close the distance a little bit, especially since there's a Valkia to attempt to focus down. All of our units will try to go for her. I wonder if invincibility frames count in the air. You know how... Oh, and there's Harpoon number 1. You know how units get invincibility frames when they get knocked down? Does air stagger count as an invincibility frame? I'm not sure. Not super important, but just something I'm curious about. As it would be, I guess, a somewhat big disadvantage potentially for aerial lords / units if they did not. Anyway, Valkia touches down, but with only 472 HP remaining. She takes a swing at one of the war wagons. Don't know whether the swing connects or not, but that allows the war wagons a few seconds to move away and once again open up space for everything and to fire. And with that, Valkia will drop. Still, I don't know how many volleys she took there, but very tanky, clearly. And... I haven't actually seen her death animation a lot, but anyway, here we go. Now that Valkia is done for, we move towards the rest of her army, or rather, move right through it, barreling through those piles of, not demonettes, bloodletters there. And then continuing to move. It's gonna separate our units to just a teensy bit. I was hoping for a few more enemies to blob up, so we kept some of our units together for those steam expulsions and landmines. But it looks like we didn't really need to bother, as with Valkia gone and the chariots and skull crushers destroyed by the war wagons, this army really doesn't stand a chance. It's primarily infantry against land ships and thunder barges. And we've taken the hill now so that we can make our way down said hill with full power up and running. See those, see the steam going on the ships and them getting 118 speed while they charge downhill, popping landmines and steam expulsions while bombs rain down from the thunder barges above. And then we turn right back and do it all over again. Oh, these poor armies, what are they gonna do about this? There's really nothing they can do. We'd need to face some really specialist armies for this army, for our army, to be under any kind of threat. I think Wood Elves would be a decent option against this particular type of force, especially with a lot of Way Watchers and such units, ones that can not or prefer not to blob up but will continue firing at us. Granted, we'd still be able to run them down and force them into melee combat, just like we're doing here, with the insane 118 speed, but I'm sure these things would suffer quite a lot more damage if the enemy had a lot more range units to actually fire upon them, rather than these melee units to simply get run over. Oh, those poor coordinate troops, they ain't doing nothing. Anyway, with that, the enemy is done for. Harry the Hammer still running around in vain, too slow to catch the land ships. Probably got bowled over a good few times. Now bombs dropping upon him, and he's getting hit from every direction. There we go. Still have to knock him down, of course. He is unbreakable, just like our land ships are. And it'll take a while to break him. Oh wow, 23, down to 23 speed with only disoriented. Well, that's unfortunate for him. He goes down and more cannons continue to hit him, down to about 15% of his HP as he gets knocked down yet again and again and again. Oh, that's so frustrating. I feel bad. And I believe that will be the last. That's his corpse. He's dead. Oh, that's... this is just mean. This is just mean. Poor Harry. Alright, well... he did good in the Archaon campaign, okay? He did good there, so I only feel slightly bad, even though I'm grinning ear to ear. Alright, poor Valkia, that was a lot of fire. She was still fairly difficult to bring down, but didn't achieve much of anything, getting one swing off by the looks of it and not destroying a war wagon with it. As usual, we did pretty well in terms of all of our units, though it looks like the Thunder Barges are outperforming the land ships and the tanks alike, which is pretty interesting. Though unfortunately, I imagine that the damage dealt by the Thunder Barges means that this army will collect less schematics, which is a bit of a shame. And I know it looks like we have a lot of schematics, but I don't think this is even enough to upgrade fully a single one of the Amethyst upgrade trees, so this is that's not a lot at all. And yeah, I think a single Amethyst landship currently costs us 3,000 on top of the 2,000, 3,000, etc. upgrades. Anyway, Valkia, we see why you ran. We'll occupy the territory. The ambush would not have worked against this army at all either. And yeah, so this is why I wanted this army to fight this melee attack +4 and armor piercing weapon damage +20. Since Land Admiral Zintler moves through the enemy in melee mode, and Deconstructor Zintler will probably never do so, as his army has mostly range, the trade is much better on you. And it would be useless on Eben, who's probably even less likely to enter melee range. But anyway, for now we're good. Free Dawnstone, free Servant, and onward and upward. Elspeth, where do we have Loke here? Looks like he moved away rather than fight you, which does make sense. We'll move towards Baleful Hills and continue chasing him down, probably until he gets a second stack nearby, which he'll probably try to fight Elspeth together with. Occupy. Another Dragonbane gem. We could give Dragonbane gems to all the heroes of the Fire Army to reduce their fire resistance. Anyway, Shangwu, Baleful Hills. You know, we'll hold on to them for now. They're actually in decent territory. This is all green after all. Especially if we confederate the... oh, right. We built this thing here. Probably temporarily, mind you. Especially if we end up confederating the Golden Order. There may be an argument to keep some Cathayan territory. Once again, I didn't really want to, but let's face it, these guys were not particularly competent with their territory, and we did give them a full territory back, after all. I'll think about it. Anyway, Eben, I guess you're going to just take Shard Bastion. We saw Bellicor with 2 armies, but we don't see him now. Just in case, though, we should probably level, because they could be right here, and they could be within range of us. It's just that we might not be able to see as far as they can move. And you have plenty of points available to you, sir. So we should make good use of them. Now, you have guns, riders, artillery, and... wait. You have 2 of the war wagons, so we could get Mighty Forge. Honest Steel... definitely get Mentor. I'm tempted to say Quartermaster. He does have extra points left over after all, and yes, we do want extra powder as well, but we could get Quartermaster right now. On the other hand, funnily enough, this is one of our cheaper armies. It's like half the cost of Zintler's army, and... yeah, this is one of our cheapest armies. Alright, fine, let's start with extra powder then. A requisition and extra powder. I guess we could get Gunsight and make you more powerful. Since you are in a steam tank, it's effectively buffing up a steam tank. And you know what? Maybe we'll get the at least 1 point in here for the additional damage on these guys. We should still be able to go towards Quartermaster. We just have to be careful about our point distribution. Let's go Gunsight for now. Like so. And maybe into Deadly Onslaught. We'll have to probably skip a few of these things, but it'll enable us to go through Quartermaster to Headhunter, and probably Lightning Strike should we actually desire it, but I'm not sure that we do. Yeah, Deadly Onslaught for now, in case the tank needs to go into melee, and always ready, I guess, as well. Next up, oh, why did I go to details? You, sir. 6 points available. I guess it's been a while since you guys have needed to level up, which, you know, fair enough. Deadly Blade and Scarred Vet, and I guess full plate armor since Felix isn't particularly heavily armored. Gotrek, Stubborn Defiance and Hard to Hit, make you more tanky with Scarred Vet. Rune of Grimnir, sure, sometimes you take hits from our own units. And I guess Deadly Blade. No need for Ancestral Grudges yet, since you're not fighting Greenskins. Ooh, you have your unique tree now, so Blight of the Skaven gives us chance to intercept tunneling and World Rootscape. We probably will never get to use that. Melee Defense plus 8 is nice, if we get attacked, though. Dragon Slayer gives us fire resistance for the entire army. And heavy arrow ammunition for you, as well as, okay, we already have a base version of Skjalander's Fall, which increases her accuracy and gives her a blinded imbuement. Attrition reduction from Chaos Attrition, swell, and the spell resistance for the entire army ain't too bad. Immunity to Psychology for the entire army, actually very nice. And Battle Healing Cap for Ulrika herself. Enemy Leadership -6, eh? Oh, and casualty or punishment for Hero's Army. Yeah, she's got some solid stuff in there. Let's also get you loyalty to the motherland, just in case. And I'm gonna say another point in Pit of Shades. You can never have too many points in Pit of Shades, folks. Restock, all-terrain... Wait, do you even need all-terrain? Yeah, get it for the mortars. All-terrain vehicle, increase mobility. And then I guess we're moving towards extra powder again, so that's piercing shots. And then 1 point in, I guess, Bandolier or Fleet-footed, it really doesn't matter, as it makes no difference as you'll never be in melee. Alright. Can we trade this immediately? Should we trade it immediately? I mean, we could. I guess we could also trade it next turn. Nah, we're fine. No, we're fine for now. We'll... what's the likelihood that these guys besiege us? We won't suffer attrition out of here, so maybe we go like this instead. And see if they attack us. It really depends. We got some Shades, we got some Raven Herald, some Bloodrack Medusa, Charybdis, a decent amount of anti-large. Perhaps they will. Especially if that other army that we saw is coming as well. Maybe they're in ambush just like Valkia attempted. And... Sloppy Crookshank, I see that you're right there. And while there is absolutely no benefit to doing this, we're going to do this. Declare war. You have elected to declare war? Yeah, sure. Never. Alright, close victory. I'm excited to try out this army, as it's all Elector Count state troops, minus the black lines. Before we get started, though, engagement threshold, actually, at the time of this recording, we're a little bit short, but I assume that by the time that it's released, we'll probably not be short, so I'm going to assume that we reached it. But if we did, just barely so. Still an hour long, and the offer still stands. 250 likes and 40 comments for the next hour long. Let's get sloppy. Slendashi giggle. Alrighty, here we go, the State Troop Army on field at the last, and I imagine that this is going to be a pretty fun battle, probably a lot more difficult than the battle wherein poor Harry the Hammer turned into a ragdoll and kept bouncing around due to all the cannon fire. But yeah, this should be pretty interesting. This is a new army. We have no veterancy whatsoever on any of the troops, no red line buffs, no magic either, as this is a level 1 wizard and a level 4 lord as well, so no buffs for anybody. Just gonna have to hold as best we can, or do what we can. Now, before we do that, let's take a quick look at our state troops, as this is the first time we're using most of them here. Nordland Mariners, Halberdiers, Swords of Ulrich, Ulrich swordsman, and ooh, I like the shields with the I like the Ulrich shields, looking pretty nice. We've also got the Gunderman's Surefires, which are looking very, very green with their getup, and we have the Grendel's Guard, which do look pretty great. The Eldred's Guard. What did I say? Did I say Grendel's Guard? Eldred's Guard, whatever. Yeah, these guys look pretty great with the black and gold that they've got going on, and they are the mainstay, sort of main line of this particular army, as they are a heavily armored form of spears with 95 armor, very significant compared to other state troops which hover around 45 to 55 armor over there. Anyway, we've also got the Stubborn Bulls, both of the units of which are hiding in the woods waiting for their chance to lay into the enemy with those great swords of theirs, and their black and red color scheme would work quite nicely with the Nuln units, but also with the other Empire Knights that we've been using, the Knights of the Black Rose and the Knights of Morr. They'd fit in very nicely with all of them. And then, that's not all, we got the Bordermen out here with their grenades. Of course, they won't be nearly as good as the Amethyst Outriders with their magical grenade launchers, but the Bordermen are still a scary unit, and the Noble Sons Abroad, which probably aren't that good, but, well, we gotta have Pistoliers to run jerks down somewhere, after all, plus they can still apply disoriented and slow enemies down. Anyway, after all that, it's time for the battle to begin. We send the Bordermen in. Their target, the 2 units of enemy Warp Lightning Cannons. Got to get these things off the field before they destroy our tanks. Looks like they are lining up a shot to themselves, and if we don't force their crew to rout, we're going to start taking shots, which, by the looks of it, we will. A Doomwheel charges out of the enemy forest, and the first of the hits from the Warp Lightning Cannons hit one of our units of Bordermen, forcing their leadership down to wavering, and by the looks of it, they're going to get terrified. Unfortunately, we're very close to the edge of the map here, so that might not be such a great thing. I suppose they'll survive in terms of their unit count, because they'll run off the map with pretty much all their units intact, but it's annoying to lose a critical unit for harassing an enemy army this early. On the bright side, the first of the enemy Warp Lightning Cannons has been destroyed, the second one has taken a volley, but the AI, for whatever reason, has decided to hide them in the trees. Maybe it's doing this on purpose to try to get away from our units, or maybe it's doing it to just, I don't know, get a better firing position without realizing that it probably shouldn't be in the trees in that manner. Anyway, the rest of the enemy army has been well and truly annoyed. We've kicked the anthill, upset the burrow, whatever you want to call it, and soon our state troops will be able to get into some melee. The Noble Sons Abroad are running around in the background and doing a little bit of damage to the enemy storm vermin, but it's the Doomwheel that we're after. We gotta stop it with the Stubborn Bulls Empire Knights and allow our Bordermen to not get harassed by the damn Doomwheel, so that they can continue harassing the enemy as they approach in turn. Gunderman's Surefires will soon be able to fire as well. No magical damage on them, but they've got better range than regular handgunners do. And fire away. Alrighty, the rats are cresting the hill, starting to take some damage here. Probably should be firing into the storm vermin with the surefires rather than the clan rats here. But I guess they all have to die in the end. Some poison winds hitting one of our steam tanks. Emperor's Wrath steam tanks. We'll probably have to back that off. Nice shot from the other steam tank as the storm vermin close the distance and start losing troops to fire from the Black Lion's war wagons as well. Very nice, and get a few more shots, and it looks like the storm vermin will break just as they get to the 2 steam tanks. All 3 of them terrified of the mechanical monstrosities. Out here, it looks like the Gunderman's Surefires have pretty much destroyed the Poison Wind Globadiers and have now switched to firing on those Warp Fire Throwers, as we certainly don't want them firing into our piles of melee troops. And by the looks of it, the Warpfire Throwers will get ripped apart quite quickly. They have very low HP, even if they do have heavy armor, but fortunately, we have armor penetration available to us. Time for the melee troops to do some work. Eldred's Guard, Swords of Ulrich, and the Nordland Mariners. Going to hit them together, and hey, the Nordland Mariners and the Swords of Ulrich with their shields and their blue and yellow look like they work pretty nicely together as well. Very different from the color scheme we've been using so far, but it makes me think that if we get a Boris army, maybe we combine Nordland Mariners with Swords of Ulrich. And Nordland and Midland are right beside each other as well, which makes sense. Anyway, how's the rest of the battle going? Well, it is still going, which is one of the interesting aspects. Storm Vermin with swords, but yeah, Sword Vermin, why not? If this was a Skaven campaign, I would immediately probably name them Sword Vermin. Getting chased out by the armor-piercing halberdiers over on this side, while our 2 units of steam tanks advance forward a little bit. Our bordermen have been able to move away and have now continued harassing the enemy army. Gonna try to get them to heavily damage those death runners if we can, as they're still quite a threatening unit. There we go, nice volley of grenades right into those rats, but they're still moving with about 30% of their HP left and heading towards us. Out here, the Doom Wheel has essentially won against the Stubborn Bulls, or at least has done so much damage that we've been forced to pull the Stubborn Bulls away rather than continue surrounding it and fighting it. We'll have to take a different tack with taking out that Doom Wheel. Good job. Killed 23 of them, actually killed 20 of them, when 3 Outriders of some kind. Out here, the Pistoliers are still trying to annoy the enemy, leading the Rat Ogres away. Not doing a crazy amount of damage, but hey, being annoying and leading critical units of enemies away can be pretty valuable in its own right as well. Can't discount that. Some other Rat Ogres charge a steam tank, probably not going to go too well for them, I would imagine, especially with others supporting. And the steam tank doesn't even care, it's going for other units while all that is happening. It looks like the Rat Ogres are out, the Gunnerman's Surefires continue to fire from their fairly nice vantage point up on this hill. And though we have been ignoring this Grey Seer for a little bit too long, I think with the enemy charging us, we kind of had to do this the way that we did. And hey, this way did, at the end of the day, work out, as the enemy army will finally get into that chain route and begin to shatter. Lovely. Nearly ran out of ammunition on the tanks, but of course the Pistoliers, the Noble Sons Abroad, do have a restock, so we could have used that. And I don't remember that. The Bordermen do have that too, so we do have plenty of restock available in this army, should we need it, although this time around we did not. Anyway, a lovely battle against Sloppy Crookshank, and we'll give chase to his army as best we can. And hey, if we run into another one of these rogue armies / rogue fleets, maybe we'll do battle with them as well. I don't know whether we'd win against all of them. Dastan Cold Eye might be iffy. And same with that, I don't remember what it's called. There's like an engineers college one with a bunch of artillery pieces. That one might be iffy as well. Alright, a rather nice fight with lots of maneuvering going on. Certainly we took a little bit of damage to one of our Borderman unit, which forced them off of the field. I was quite impressed with the performance of the enemy Doom Wheel as well, as the Stubborn Bulls had absolutely no chance against it, and it was kind of destroying them. A little bit surprised considering their great weapon knights. Yeah, they're only Empire Knights, so they're fragile, but stopping the Doom Wheel in its tracks and hitting it with armor-piercing greatswords was apparently not enough to out-damage it. So, yeah, well done to the Doom Wheel. Otherwise, we got lots of kills on the Nordland Mariners, who got into it with some enemy clan rats. The Gunderman Surefires did pretty okay. The Noble Sons Abroad actually really did very little damage, despite running around and using up all their ammunition. But because they act sort of like doggos, post-battle, they were able to chase a lot of the enemy down, so that worked out for them. Anyway, we're going to heal up because we'll want to auto-resolve the remnants of this army. Or is it destroyed after that? I don't even remember. No, it's not destroyed. Alright, so we'll hit you, and like so.
No mercy.
I really should have checked whether the auto... Okay, no, we're good. Hey, an armor of fortune. That'll go nicely on one of our tankers. Pardon captives for now. And hold off on that armor of fortune. We got better holders for that sort of thing. Great Point Scuttler's destroyed. You gotta love taking a nice little battle like that. We got an island here. We got an island here. And an island here. We could probably grab a few islands sort of on the way like this. I figure we send this army to fight the Dark Elves. With Carl sort of around here, we probably have sufficient armies over on this side, and it's time to help Ulthuan out. Or at least help them not get overrun. Anyway, let's grab this Remnants of Battle, and then loop back around. Although that's fairly significantly detour on the other hand. Wait. Ah, but this is all our territory, so we could heal to full while here and then grab it. Yeah, I think I like that. Let's go here. Go to Mistnar Crossing, grab the island, then loop back downward, unless there's a Skull Island around here. No, looks like this place is island-free, whereas this path also doesn't have as many islands as I thought it would, but oh well. Whatever, all good. Albrecht Hupt Anderson, do we need to recruit anything else for you?
To the provinces?
Shh, will this be enough? The issue will be the enemy flyers, the Manticores, and the Chaos Furies, and unknown what else. I don't really have anything that'll be great at dealing with them, but on the other hand, I don't want to go overboard to the point that... let's get Sterling's Revenge. I don't want to get overboard to the point that the enemy army does not attack. I hope that's sufficient. Zintler. I guess we can ignore Nagrar. We can reach it, but we're better off just going for Black Creek Spire and grabbing all the territories of Karand Kar before they do anything. I see Durthu's trying to go after Malekith, but I don't imagine that he'd win the fight. We'll loot and occupy this.
Remuneration must be paid.
Hey, a free barber surgeon. Very nice. Okay, we really need more barber surgeons because several of our armies do have a tendency to get pretty heavily damaged, and we want them to heal up more. Alright, you. I'm gonna try to remember your name, but since you're one of the new guys, you're not quite as memorable yet. Ooh, I noticed Tamarkan has begun taking territory from Boris. Yeah, we can't... See, because the AI is screwy, we don't want this happening. And... oh, are you really gonna move down here? That's kind of annoying, because I wanted to trade the other Dwarfen faction these territories, but we also need to be up there. Well, I guess we could trade it to you instead. We'll see who takes the territories. Unfortunately, though, this means we need to move. We need to move you up here. And, oh, we also need to heal up while we do, but I guess, yeah, this is fine.
A labor of wisdom.
Go, go, go. And we'll figure out who we trade Uskalac to later.
Work to do.
Will you heal up nicely? Wow, really not? Why don't you heal well? Oh, you don't have... is it warrior priests or is it engineers? We don't have whatever... it's not engineers. You're gonna increase mobility though. We don't have the hero that increases our casualty replenishment rate. That's an issue. Alright, I guess you're gonna get a barber surgeon then. I mean, I wanted it for another army, but... you clearly needed more. There we go, it's a little better. It's not good, but it's better. Witch Hunter. Still thinking we're going to replace at least one of them. The one without cunning. Anyway, Helmut Feuerbach. Will these guys offer to us military access? They will not. In fact, while we're here, let's double check Diplo. Military access of the Golden Order, or Military Alliance rather, which is fine, but we don't really care that much about it right now, and the rest of this looks good. Valkia wants peace. That was quick, Valkia. How many turns? Confederation is up next turn. Hopefully that'll complete the Middenland Confederation. Alright, let's give them one more turn. Go right to the edge of this. I guess right on the road, in fact. Oh, you know what I should have been doing? I should have had you channeling this entire time, because you have no mana. Ooh, Scarby. Hello. Well, let's hope that he takes Karagarud, then we won't have to care about the... damn. If I had known he was here, I would have gone into ambush, because he might sack this and run away rather than get immediately killed next turn. I'd say it's a distinct possibility, but anyway, we'll see. Anybody else? Boris von Sighofen. I would really, really strongly love to find you a proper fight, sir. Tower of Gorgoth. Oh, it has walls.
Awaiting orders.
Not the best army to assault walls with, I will admit, but what's the likelihood that they sally out of here? They might. Pyrrhic victory? Do this. Oh, we don't need the ram. We have Zotes to ram things. Let's do this and see if they sally out next turn. I'd prefer to fight it that way. In that case, we will want to level up, so grant Soulfire. Let's level up our mage. Definitely want to max out Glittering Robe. And get that thing nice and spammy. You can get Foe Seeker and then into Blade Shield, sir. We still need sparring practice, but it'll be a while before we get all those levels. Foe Seeker and Blade Shield. And I guess the same thing for the Warrior Priests. As in the same as each other, not that... Well, then again, Impassioned and Blade Shield are basically the same thing, so yeah, the same thing. Twice over. Anyway. Anybody else need to move this turn? Just Jamathius. Jamathius, keep on traveling, sir. Got a long way to go. Start moving this way, in fact, since the Fire Army has started to move down there. Next up, we'll select a tech. We'll do the buildings, and then we'll go next turn. Alright, what do we need here? We have Purge of the Knife Ears. Not really needed right now. Vampire Counts, Vampire Coast, and Tomb Kings. Foul is Greenskin, Skaven, Ogres, and Lizardmen. You know what, I'm kind of inclined to just max out all of these so we don't have to keep staring at them. Besides, damn, we just reached 400 and it didn't take these down to 1. Meaning what? Meaning we probably need 600 to get these down to 1 rather than 2. Well, darn.
What are we if we do
Oh, I'll go
not
figure.
advance?
Believe that is that. We've selected our tech. Let's build some buildings. Albion. No, okay, not Albion, because it'll probably get attacked. Don't collect the income here at Dargoth, we'll trade it. Lorelorn is fine, Shardlands will be traded. In fact, we should trade it next turn, yes. Jisoro Gap, we don't care about. Forest of Gloom, still building. Griffinwood, you're in the same situation. Middle Mountains, don't care. Oh, I just realized something. Because we have materials at sea, perhaps we shouldn't expend money on this right now. Make use of as much money as possible to build everything up, so then we sort of basically will be able to end admin for the rest of the campaign. Which would be nice. Alright, let's focus on building for now. Wildorf, you will never get cheaper. Tier 5. Don't need the landed estate then. Ooh, any other tier 5s available? Ooh, let's also build the gunsmith for cheap. You're not quite a tier 5, but you will be next turn, meaning we can get rid of the growth building. Theron Karak Angazar. Tilea, you are not a tier 5, but you're getting there. Myrmidons, you'll be a tier 5 next turn. Damn, everything's turning tier 5. Stalia. Yes, to Clothier. And I guess we'll want to save a little bit of cash, because if we're getting a bunch of tier 5s simultaneously, we're going to want to actually be able to build them while we have materials at sea, and thus be able to actually afford them. You can get the foundry, though. Still need the extra research rate, apparently quite a lot of it. Alright, and we are looking good. We'll keep the rest of the money we currently have. And end the turn, yes, yes. Where could we get attacked here if there are 2 Dark Elven armies? Let's level you, just in case they both attack us. Now, I wish I remembered what I was going for. I think it was extra powder. I don't need Taste of Battle on this army, and it's the simplest one in terms of getting stuff out of this, meaning, assuming that we're ignoring Quartermaster, I guess we're gonna get... Let's get Requisition. Ammunition for Lord's Army. The tanks actually do run out of ammunition surprisingly quickly, so why not? NGs. What are we missing for you? I guess always ready. I don't expect them to really do all that much damage, but, you know, nonetheless, not too bad of a thing to have. You can get the Dwellers Below, let's max it out, and then you can get Always Ready as well. There we go. Hopefully you're ready enough for the Dark Elves to hit you, because I assume they will, if the other army is in fact ambushing. The AI may be a coward, but if 2 stacks versus 1, they usually will go for it. Join war against Warhost of Jar. I would love to, but we don't have any armies over there. Elspeth is working on solving your Lokir Felhard problem. Yes, indeed, they will attack. I guess it's another Zintler, or I was about to say another Zintler day, but we have multiple Zintlers. We have A, we have Land Admiral Zintler. B, we have Deconstructor Zintler. C, we have the Zintler's Reichsguard, who were named after Zintler, the Reichskaptain. I think he might have been Reichsmarshal in the end times. I'm not entirely sure. It's been a while. But anyway, he could never take the place of Kurt Helborg in our hearts. And how have they not added Kurt Helborg? Now okay, I'll hold off on that rant. But anyway. Why would they add Marcus Wolfhard over Kurt Helborg? But let's go.
Follow my battle schematics, and victory shall be ours! Battle awaits!
Alrighty, here we go again, slowly trundling forth while firing at the enemy. You got to love this army. Especially with the support of the thunder barges overhead. Anyway, looks like the enemy is going to wait for their reinforcements. Of course, we can't, I believe, see the shades, but we'll be able to see them soon. And besides, if the enemy wants to keep other units near the shades, they're going to take damage just by virtue of those units' proximity, even if we can't, well, even if I can't see them while actually playing through the battle. Anyway, the Charybdis is in pretty bad shape by the looks of it, taking most of its HP and damage already, and will back away. It is the biggest threat other than, well, piles of shades here, being an anti-large monster, of course. Although I don't imagine it's all that much of a threat. Anyway, the Shades and Dread Spears and Bleak Swords, whatever is out here really, are having a pretty bad time of it, as we've taken a decent position up on that hill to continue firing down on the enemy while they await their precious reinforcements. There are a lot of Shades in there though, and is that another Charybdis or a Hydra? It's a Hydra, I think, as well as some Knights and such, and more Medusa, or at least another Medusa. These things should really try to move closer and actually fire upon us rather than what they're doing here, but, well. Perhaps these Dark Elves will take after Malice, but probably not going to be as bad with them standing on top of each other, at least not to the same degree. Plus, they're kind of inadvertently using these trees for cover, which is actually a pretty good move on their part. Certainly, a lot of the shots are now being blocked by the trees, which will allow the enemy's reinforcements to move on to the field, and at least half of the first enemy army to remain alive. Looks like the enemy is going to send the Raven Heralds after our war wagons. Kind of dangerous for both units. The Raven Heralds are pretty darn good at sniping single entities, but, well, so are the war wagons. So whoever does the most damage the quickest will win, although I guess that just describes every single type of fight, pretty much, doesn't it? Anyway, we're going to try to keep moving with our war wagons, or at least as best we can, to make sure that the Raven Heralds don't get a bead on us, or at the very least, if they do, a decent amount of their shots miss. Focusing them down, they're disoriented, they're shaken, they're certainly taking damage, and the enemy's murderous prowess activates, which ain't so great for them. Alright, war wagons, you're doing a little bit of overkill. Try to spread your shots out when you're firing on weaker enemies. Anyway, looks like the enemy is moving towards us now. Oh wow, this unit of Bleak Swords, really? They're still on the field. I mean, I get that their murderous prowess is active, but there are 4 of them, and they have 202 HP. How are they how have they not shattered? Oh, AI. I mean, I guess you need the help, but still, damn. Alright, and it's time to finally move. Now that the Medusae have gotten into range, it's better not to just sit there and take the damage, and instead charge on through, especially as the enemy has once again a ton of units of Shades, and we don't want those guys firing. Oh, the land ships. What a bloody charge. Look how many units it carried with it, and the blood all over this frickin' thing. You gotta love these things. And the steam tank, no slouch either. Of course, it doesn't have the mass or the speed of the land ships, and the land ships are starting to take a little bit of damage from Shades and Medusa alike, but they are causing havoc now. Unlike usual, we've separated them and are forcing them to essentially crisscross, run around, and do the best they can to prevent the enemy from forming up effectively. The enemy has sort of a kind of attempted a front going, but it didn't work out so well as these two land ships were able to peel away from each other and drop a few mines and continue running those shades down. And of course, while all this is happening, the shades are unable to harass our thunder barges, which are relatively fragile, or at the very least I would imagine more fragile than the land ships are in terms of taking direct range damage. Steam expulsions and landmines continue to drop wherever we can drop them, or at the very least wherever the enemy has units blobbed up, and the battle should be pretty much ours. And there we go. With that, the enemy army shatters, and once again, Land/Grand Admiral Zintler carries the day. I kind of like the idea of him being like a disgraced like Navy admiral, and then he decided, okay, I'll be an admiral on land, and then he's just like, airships, land ships, if I can't use sea ships, I'll still use ships. Anyway, we're gonna run them down as best we can, of course, as usual, and frankly, this army has always been fantastic at running things down, and hopefully not a lot of the two enemy armies that we suspected, and rightly so, will be left. Alright, there we go. Look, I recognize, I am cognizant of the fact that this army is overpowered as heck. But it's just so fun that I don't even care. It's got probably too many land ships and too many Emperor's Rats, in the sense that it makes the army too strong for the AI to contend with, but it's just so fun to use. It's definitely one of the most fun armies I've had the pleasure of working with. I love all the land ships and steam tanks riding around just causing absolute havoc. If nothing else, while the devs do have a kind of bad tendency to add overpowered units without considering the faction as a whole or other units that they may override previously or make obsolete. At the same time, these particular units are just so fun to use. So, in the name of fun, Besides, while the land ships are really fun, I don't think that they've quite made the regular war wagons obsolete. I do think that the land ships need to cost more, but the war wagons have their place. They've been really quite useful still. Anyway, rant aside, we'll pardon the captives for a little bit of cash, and both of those armies are effectively destroyed, and the Land Admiral can continue causing havoc wheresoever his, tires tread. Oh, and wheresoever the shadows of his ships fall. That's better because the airships don't have tires. But anyway, no, Carant Car, we're not piecing out with you. Who is Cyanlet? Oh, little tiny level rank 1 lord. Goodbye. Poor little guy. Heal up just in case we get attacked by Lokir. I sincerely doubt that we will, but I'm not willing to risk it. Well, then again, you guys aren't even hurt, are you? Okay, yeah, never mind. Take the schematics. Anything for more schematics, I guess. Alright, and there we go, folks. With that, I think we... Okay, once these darn... take a look at your armor later. Once all of these darn notifications are good... Hey, Kislavite Kossar, campaign movement range. No. Not for you. We have to give those to lords. Servants of the Conclave destroyed and Clan Krizor destroyed. Huh. Wait, who killed them? Who killed Clan Krizor? I guess it must have been Miao Ying. Then nobody's at Wang Chang? Huh. Should probably occupy that then. I would tell her to because she won't do it herself, but on the other hand, the problem with this is that we still want Skyjunks, so nah. Someone's sacked. Wait, I should have taken a look at where that was. Ready for duty, ready for duty, ready for duty, technology researched. Negative growth in Miragliano, but we have pretty good growth. Someone sacked Dargoth, Deadwood. Huh? How did you guys sack? Oh, it's because it didn't have anything in it. Okay, and you've essentially killed the army to do so. What the heck was the point of that? Okay, well, good for you and good luck. How are we looking over here? Talzin and Shakara.
Summon the Elector comes.
Both of you are you in range? Huh. I guess Shakara is preventing us from using the harbor at the Isle of Wights, or was this the broken harbor that you can't use? Remains to be seen. That takes pretty much all of our movement anyway. I think Talzin is actually trying to escape the territory now, since he looks like he won't or can't take Conquata, though I do want to double check. Northern Mariners are coming. Okay, 7 turns until more great swords. Still 1 out of 2 on the swords of Ulrich, and Confederation is up. Yes, we need to check this immediately. Yeah, 12.4 on Midland and 29.9 on the Golden Order. I guess we'll just have to keep on waiting. Eventually, they will come to us. Anyway, folks, with that, we're out of time. Next time, Karl goes after these armies. Probably going to hunt down at least one of them. We still got Malekith to file, though his army is frankly pretty pathetic. Deconstructor Zintler will continue deconstructing the enemy's cities in the same way that he built ours up, or in the opposite way that he built ours up, with the same expertise, I guess. If you know how to build a building, you probably know to some degree how to bring it down, though, you know, demolition is its own discipline, but nonetheless. All the tangents today, folks, just all the tangents. Ibn, I wonder if Bellicor is attempting to ambush you. We'll have to move you carefully, but hopefully we'll get you a fight with those 2 stacks belonging to Bellicor as we continue moving westward towards Nagaroth proper, and starting to get some armies into Marathi's territory, hopefully soon. Also Slaaneshi Giggle, also that's it. More Elspeth to come, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially the threshold. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.